VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin.
Hey, how we doing?
In the hizzy. How you doing, man?
Good,
Good. Oh, big show today. Full day of Major League Baseball. Greg Peterson will be here to give us his thoughts on multiple games, day, night, and everything in between.
He's going to be here?
Oh, no. I just mean on the show.
Greg, you got an hour to get down here, buddy.
Come on, Greg.
Gil just promised it
Where are you?
to millions of people listening.
I'd love to hang out with him. Because if he's here, I'll just be like, Abilene Christian, go. and then he goes through like
top 7 on the red depth chart. Go.
And he goes through like 10 players. He could be lying to me. I'd have no idea. I'd be like, sure. That
Oh,
good.
yeah.
No.
Greg could have made up in the 7 years I've worked with Greg Peterson, he could have made up 78 different names on college basketball teams. I would have no idea.
Totally. Sia Nejad will join us a little later on. Talk golf and football with him. Will Hill momentarily to talk about all his MLB picks. What he's thinking about. He's got some interesting. So Will's fanhood is he loves the Yankees in baseball. He loves the Vikings in football.
Some of these guys.
I got questions for both of those.
Yeah.
Because the Yankees are floundering, which we'll talk about here momentarily. And then country clubbing. We be clubbing. FedEx St. Jude preview with Kelly Bidlin. And maybe some U.S. Open thoughts in tennis. By the way, sorry about the tennis play yesterday. That was brutal. Maddie Keys didn't really show up for that match.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I got done recording long shots, and I was like, let me go find this tennis match. I think it's on right now. And I did that whole, take 3 minutes. I'm like, where's this match at? And then I finally, looked down. I was like, oh, it's over already.
Well, it was one of these matches. First of all, she was a complete no-show for the first set. But then there was a delay of a long, somebody had
really?
a medical. What is it with the tennis matches where fans always have a medical issue?
Wimbledon's the one every year where I'm like, how do we keep getting surprised at how hot it is?
By the way, do have one tennis play today, going back to the well against Clara Towson. Clara Towson, who has beaten Iga Swiatek and Maddie Keys in this tournament. And this is one of these things where it's in retrospect, right, then the retrofitting of the, not that I played Swiatek in that because she was a prohibitive favorite, but the retroactive sort of download of that match yesterday is, well, are these folks, because remember, it's Montreal, Toronto, followed by Cincinnati, followed by the U.S. Open. So it's not the worst thing in the world to get bounced early in Cincinnati, 2 tournaments before the U.S. Open.
Yeah, you're doing the whole golf before a major thing. How
much
much do you care if you're a star?
Does it mean more to Towson to win a tournament? Maybe so. But Osaka, with a new coach, I've got her today against Towson at minus 135. Same price I had Maddie Keys against Towson yesterday. Osaka looking very stoic out there. Remember, she won 4 slams, all on hard courts. So we'll see if Osaka, who basically has Iga's old coach now, Tomas, we'll see if Osaka can get it done. That is the one tennis play today in Montreal. Kelly's favorite place on earth, Osaka over Towson.
Who do you have rated higher between Keys and Osaka?
Both have very good hard court numbers. Keys slightly better.
Okay. That's what I would have guessed, but...
Yeah. In terms of their...
Let's see if you can keep it going, Clara. We'll see.
Clara Towson. We also look at MVP and Offensive Player of the Year in the NFL a little later on as well. I want to get back to the...
Yeah, it'll be a fun conversation. I grabbed some of the Cleve trends, see what fits.
Cleve TA trends. We'll remind everybody who Cleve landed on with both of those, what the parameters are, and just some thoughts. Because with MVP, there is a metric from last year that can narrow the EPA per dropback. If you're not above... was it plus 0.1 EPA dropback, you really never win this.
What was the...
So there's 18 guys that
I believe there was a game last year where Lamar Jackson was 0.9 something per dropback.
Oh, wow.
In one of the Ravens games, it was just imagine, I remember listening to Drew and Andy talk about this. It was just imagine telling Lamar Jackson, basically get to add a point to the scoreboard every time you literally drop back with the ball.
So we'll get into all that. About the Yankees, let me just say this. So Yankees lose again yesterday. Yankees are 0 for August. Yankees lose again, this time to the Rangers. They lose 2-0. The Rangers were 1 of 16 with runners in scoring position in this ball game. So, this should not have been close. But the Rangers do get it done. May I say that? August Texas Rangers get it done. Rangers move to 3-2 on the month. Yankees 0-5 on the month now, I believe it is. So Rangers just outside of the higher group. I shouldn't say just outside, because there are a couple teams that are still undefeated in the month of August, which are the Brewers and the Red Sox, who are both 5-0 at this point. But the Yankees, it brings to mind a couple betting implications here. We'll ask Will about this as well. One, Felica came on here, Chris Felica, the Bear, came on here a couple weeks ago. It was like, Yankees missed the playoffs. And I think he got double digits on it, right? 10-1, if I'm not mistaken.
I heard a 7-1 at some point, but I don't remember who that was, because we've had multiple people come on here and say Yankees to miss the playoffs.
Rangers play the Yankees. Rangers looking for the sweep in this series today. It is Jack Leiter against Carlos Rodon, with the Yankees favorite in this ball game. If the Rangers win, the Yankees are on the outside looking in of the playoff picture.
It's crazy.
It'll only be by a half game, but 2 weeks ago we didn't really think this was really a possibility. And so the question becomes, is there still value on, and what's the thought on Yankees to miss the playoffs? Yankees are down at plus 265 to miss the playoffs. So on the one hand, you're like, oh, that ship has sailed. On the other hand, I'm rooting for Felica's bet. It's funny because he's rooting for the Yankees to miss the playoffs. I'm rooting for the Rangers most August win. Right. So we're simpatico on this series. We're rooting for the Rangers hard to get the sweep. But is plus 265 a play? I still worry that the Yankees will make the playoffs. Because if you look at all the teams they're competing with in the scrum for the American League wild card, they, besides the Mariners, have the easiest, besides the Mariners and the Astros, obviously, one of those teams is winning the AL West anyway. The Yankees have the easiest remaining schedule of the group. Now, that's one thing. That's only one factor. What they can't have is their ace, Max Fried, have over a 6.00 ERA in his last 6 starts, which is the case. So, can't have that. Those are your AL wildcard standings right there. As you see, if the Rangers win today, Yankees will fall a half game out of the mix. By the way, the Guardians, pesky as ever, still in this. Go away, Guardians. Lose
seriously.
games.
So I was just going to ask you. So I'm like, the price, when you say you're only a half game of being on the outside looking in, and you can get plus 265, that sounds really juicy. But looking at those standings, I mean, who's stealing the spot besides the Rangers?
Nobody.
That's kind of the point, right?
I mean, Guardian, I guess Royals fans would say differently. Rays are kind of not very reliable either. I don't think any of those teams at the bottom there are really viable. Sorry, Guardians fans, I just don't. But, I mean, obviously the Red Sox playing great. Mariners shored up before the trade deadline. I still think the Rangers, I'll say it again with the Rangers, no team has come close in terms of giving up runs to as few as the Rangers have this year, right? Number 1 in WHIP, number 1 in ERA, number 1 in multiple pitching categories. So they got to find those bats again that they had in July, because they are frustrating offensively. They sure were yesterday. But I don't know, plus 265, I don't think I'd play that, is my point.
Yeah.
It's one thing I have Felica's number, but I just think it's, I don't know. Yankees,
and more about those other teams, right?
And we're so reactionary with baseball, right? If the Yankees win today, and we'll get to Judge now, and let's say Judge hits a homer.
And the Mariners lose.
Everybody's opinion's going to change overnight, right?
Yeah.
So, and by the way, Aaron Judge in his return from July 25th, hadn't played since July 25th, goes 0 for 3 yesterday, DHing for the Yankees, had 2 strikeouts and a ground out. He'll resume throwing today. The injury once again to Judge was the flexor. What is it again with Aaron Judge? I always forget the flexor tendon strain in his right elbow. I wanted to get that exact. But Judge minus 325 still to be MVP, and I still think that's correct, because I just don't think anybody else has necessarily stepped up to take it from him, as he is still top 5 in the Triple Crown categories even after his absence. We're showing minus 270 now. So again, that kind of number is different everywhere right now at this point. Cal Raleigh is plus 240. Everybody else, starting with the Tigers ace Tarek Skubal, 80-1 or longer. So it's Judge or Raleigh, and Raleigh hasn't exactly taken advantage of Judge's absence.
So I feel like we've got a lot of these questions. Is Is it down to those two for sure in your mind? Like, does Skubal not have a chance? Because we got a lot of Skubal tweets about MVP.
I know we do, but it's like Skubal and Crochet are locked up in that Cy Young battle. I think Skubal probably still has the advantage for sure, right? Mm. But are they really going to give Skubal both? I don't think they will. Now, if the Yankees fall off a cliff, Judge doesn't do anything.
And Raleigh continues to be middling, right?
Is the question, is there a scenario where it could happen? Sure. I mean, we still have more than a quarter of the year left, but it is unlikely to me. Here's the Cy Young, by the way, where Skubal's $6 favorite, and then it's Crochet, and then everybody else is 35-1. By the way, Eovaldi, who's 35-1. 8 innings of one-hit ball against the Yankees yesterday. And again, as I said, the Rangers, 1 of 16 with runners in scoring position. They could not get it done. They couldn't get that one till the 8th. The other thing is the Brewers keep feasting on the worst of Major League Baseball, the Nationals and now the Braves. The Brewers right now plus 475 on the NL side of things. Plus 475. But they're feasting on really easy opponents here. So do I necessarily think, listen, the playoffs are the playoffs. Anything can happen. But plus 475, not a bad price.
Did you see this note about the 60-game stretch? 44-16 in their last 60 games overall.
The greatest in franchise history.
The greatest in franchise history. That is impressive.
They've been amazing. I shouldn't say it's only recently against the worst of the worst. But they've been great. They've been absolutely great. They had a great last month and starting out undefeated here in August. This should be great. And again, we're not even at the quarter pole quite yet.
Oh, I just saw NL MVP prices. Wish I got in on Schwarber the other day.
Schwarber with 2 homers and a slam a couple nights ago and still going. It's all going to come down to Shohei's pitching, though.
Yeah.
Because if Shohei, if the pitching just still goes great, I don't see how you can give it to anybody else. Sorry not to be sexy about these. Coming back with Will.
Got a good thing coming, so wait and see. It's a good.
The quest for $14.2 million starts right now.
We've waited. It's now here.
Record-breaking signups, $14.2 million. Also record-breaking chaos.
The number 1 team goes down in week 1.
It's crazy. I mean, obviously, this game was supposed to be Bengals blowout. No! I'm done. The dream of going back-to-back is over. Come on, baby!
Nobody could see this one coming.
No way the number 1 pick goes down in week number 2, but it did.
This has been the craziest year that I've ever seen.
By week 4, 75% of the entries are gone.
This is a tough competition, and it is not for the faint at heart.
Within 5 weeks, we'd lost 97% of the entries.
You can feel the tension like a hot knife through butter.
How many survivors will make it to even mid-season?
New episodes nightly at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN.
Coming up on the next edition of Follow the Money, loaded MLB card with a ton of early starts. Steve Wiss, the meat man, 2-0 last week. We'll preview the upcoming weekend of soccer. Mike Palm with another edition of You Cannot Be Serious. More drama in the WNBA. And Rick Venturi will join the show. We'll talk Colts and preview the AFC South with him. Follow the Money, 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN. The Sports Betting Network, now Sirius XM Channel 158. Check out the website for all our betting tools and analysis, or get the VSiN Watch app.
The Numbers Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Numbers Game back at Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. If you want to bet smarter, start with Smarter Insights. Right now you can check out VSiN's college football betting guide, Greg Peterson's MLB Best Bets. Greg will join us momentarily. And Wes Reynolds' FedEx St. Jude Championship picks. Later today, you can check out Tyler Shoemaker's WNBA picks, Steve Makinen's MLB Analytics Report, and Adam Burke's preseason Week 1 picks. Right now, you can sign up for as little as $9.99 to access all the VSiN Pro articles. Just head to VSiN.com/subscribe to sign up today. It's Gil Alexander. That's Kelly Bidlin, everybody. Real quick before we get to Will Hill, everybody, the host of the Shoulda Bet More podcast. A couple of the football notes. Once again, the Browns. We mentioned yesterday, Snoop Huntley has been signed by the Browns, their 5th quarterback on roster, because 3 of the 5, right, Deshaun aside, obviously he's got the Achilles and he's out for the year, but 3 of the 4 previous to Tyler Huntley have injuries. Flacco, the old man, the only one who's healthy, we have 2 hamstring injury, we have a shoulder injury. But when they put out the depth chart here, so Shedeur Sanders, who was, 4th on the depth chart, because of injuries ahead of him, is actually going to get the start. Week 1 here of the preseason against the Carolina Panthers.
Friday night.
Shedeur Sanders. So this is an opportunity that is rarely afforded a guy who's 4th on the depth chart. So that's happening there.
It will be only Shedeur and Huntley playing.
That's right.
All the other, Flacco, Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, this all just coming down this morning, all of them will not play at all. So I don't even know if any of those guys will be dressed.
So that'll be fun to get a look at on that. Panthers 6.5-point favorites in that. Total, a preseason 32.5. And then the other one, and this will be a nice segue to Will, more of this Matthew Stafford news. Dealing with an aggravated disc, received an epidural to help him deal with it. He's considered week to week, as the Rams are being cautious, but with plans for him to be ready for Week 1, per Ian Rappaport. The Rams, Sean McVay, he doesn't like playing starters in the preseason anyway, so it's not like we were going to see Stafford. But week to week, and it is August 6th, for a 37-year-old, I believe Will Hill has already made this an actionable bit of information. He joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow him on Twitter at @NotTheWillHill. And there he is, the host of the Shoulda Bet More podcast. He's on Bear Bets Pods and, of course, the Mega Pod as well. How you doing, man?
Gilly, what's going on? I'm doing okay. This might be a low point of my career. I was preempted by Tyler Huntley news. That's, I hit a new low here on a numbers game. But, yeah, no, look, I think they can downplay this all they want. I think a lot of these training camp stories, trade requests, contracts, all that stuff can be overblown. How much time did we spend last summer on Brandon Ayuk? Where's he going to go for nothing to happen? But to me, a 37-year-old with back issues, a Rams team that everyone's high on. I mentioned last week, I don't really buy the hype. Now you throw this in there. To me, this is a major red flag because, look, I don't know if you're aware of this, Gil. They hit you in football. So you go in there with back issues. Nobody's even hitting him yet. I think Rams to miss the playoffs. Stafford, season-long passing yards under 3750.5. I think those are good bets. And to me, this just strengthens my belief on Gannon. I know Cleve TA's on it. I think the Bears on it too. There's a few of us on it. I think Gannon was kind of mispriced at 20-1 to begin with, just because they're 4-1 or so, a little higher to win the division. And if they won the division, he's going to be on the short list. Gannon, if his Cardinals win the division, on the short list of Coach of the Year candidates. I think it's got to be encouraging for the Cardinals. It's got to give some equity to the Cardinals here. And to me, this is a major concern. Plus, he's 37. He's made a ton of money. He's won a Super Bowl. He's going to the Hall of Fame. His wife's a cancer survivor. I wonder if he ever sits down and they sit down and say, you know what, we've made a lot of money. We're going to the Hall of Fame. We've done everything. Is this really worth it? I think that conversation is probably going to have to happen at some point. I know these guys all want to play and you got to drag the uniform off of them, but I don't know. I just think this is a real big concern here for the Rams.
Yeah, but that's almost a direct quote from something I said about Stafford 2-3 years ago, right? Where I'm like, what else does he have to play for, right? It was another kind of injury. He's won a Super Bowl. Yeah, remember that? It's like a complete regurgitation of he's won a Super Bowl. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. His wife had cancer, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole thing. So at this point, you do have to just sort of say to yourself, the dude wants to, like what you threw in there. The dude wants to play football apparently till they rip off the jersey. Literally, all these guys do.
I mean, the other part of it was he was ready. This isn't necessarily leaving football, but he basically let the world know he was ready to leave the Rams this offseason.
Yeah, and yet they had the ball with a chance to beat the Eagles in the snow in the playoffs. So look, he's He's correct to think, right? He wouldn't be wrong in thinking that he would be a player playing on a contender who could actually do things in this upcoming NFL season. Okay, to your Yankees. We were just talking about the Yankees miss playoffs. We were talking about Aaron Judge at MVP. Where do you stand on those two things?
I looked this morning for a FanDuel. I missed the opening segment. I will go back and listen, as always, on some great guests this week. Todd Wishnev. Need more of that guy. I don't know if people are aware. That guy's going places. He's the best. Plus 280 to miss the playoffs is completely mispriced. How is this team plus 280 to miss the playoffs? They have a half-game lead over Texas. If they lose today, they're on the outside looking in. I've never, and this is recency bias, maybe I'm too close to the sun, I've never seen a dumber team on all levels. Fielding, base running, managing. How you put Devin Williams into a tie game last night. Who thought that was going to work? I was doing the show live with Matt Humans primetime. We're laughing as he's coming in and said, what is he doing? You're putting Devin Williams back out there after he blew it. Devin Williams is one of these guys. And look, it can be a little played out sometimes. He's not cut out for New York, all that stuff. Maybe the homer he gave up in the playoffs to Alonso is stuck with him. I made that point all winter that sometimes these closers, it's like kickers in football. You give up a homer, you miss a big kick. It's such a psychological position. Maybe it sticks with you. But he says after the game on Monday, well, I made one bad pitch. I mean, these guys, it's such a disaster. They do something I wouldn't say every day, but every other day that you don't see all year. I mean, Jazz Chisholm's on first base on Saturday. A pop up to second. He tries to get off a few feet in case it drops, and then he gets picked off first. Then he says after the game, I wouldn't do anything differently. And Boone defends him. Boone says, you know what? He's trying to make a play. To me, this team is a total fade. It has to factor into your handicapping. You can't bet the Yankees on a day-to-day basis and say, oh, it was a bad beat. They had bad base running or bad defense. That's who they are. That's who they are. It's ridiculous. Who knows if Judge is healthy? He didn't do anything last night. To me, plus 280 to miss the playoffs is still a fantastic bet. I know you missed the best numbers, but look, you got to play the ball where it lies. All you can do is look at the number as it currently is. I still think that is a fantastic bet. You get that at FanDuel, plus 280 to miss. I would recommend that. And I like Texas today. I think Texas, look, I think the better bet is plus a half a run in the first five with Leiter. Got reverse splits. Yankees have a bunch of lefties. Who knows if Judge is even healthy yet, like I said. And look, Rodon is hit or miss. So taking that half run in the first five with Texas is how I'm playing it here. But the Yankees are just a joke right now.
So Willie Special plus a half run, first five on the Rangers right there.
I like it.
I meant to say that in the first segment, by the way, and I failed to. But am I being hyperbolic when I say they are the worst fielding / base running team I've ever seen in my life?
No, it's not hyperbolic at all. And it's actually become to the point where they're so bad at it, and their reputation for it is, they're bad on defense, they're bad base running, where it flies under the sun, or it flies under the radar. When they do it, it's just like, the Yankees made another mistake, where it shouldn't. Like Grisham got thrown out at home on Saturday's game too. The ball wasn't even, this was more coaching because the third base coach sent him. The left fielder has the ball. Grisham has not touched third. Grisham just jogs into a tag. The catcher sitting there waiting for like 30 feet. Grisham just jogs, gets tagged, runs back to the dugout. I mean, it's Little League stuff. If I coach Little League, if the Little League team did this, you'd scream at them. It's ridiculous.
And there was one the other where Wells thought it was the third out. He just jogs off second base. Remember that one?
Make a list.
There's a list.
Yeah, somebody should do a mashup, a compilation of like 8 or 10 of these. It's hilarious.
And none of this is like this just can't happen is not the proper, like they go to Aaron Boone afterwards. He's like, it just can't happen. Well, you are the manager. I just want to point that out. What else in baseball? Full day of baseball today. What else you got?
Yeah, I am one to complain about the schedule. Not today. I think they balance the action pretty nicely. We get it early, we get it late, we get it in between. I played the A's as well on the money line. You get it in the 130-ish range, 135-ish range. Shop around. Cavalli making his first start for the Nats. He was a big prospect. Then he had Tommy John. It's been rough in the minors. And look, the A's, who knows if when they're coming to Vegas, but if and when they go, man, they've got some bats. They can really swing the bat. Kurtz is going to be like an MVP level bat. Wilson, I know, has been hurt and slumping, but he's a good bat. And then who is it? Soderstrom hit the 3 homers last time. I mean, they can really hit. And Springs, you get him away from Sacramento, and he's been a much better pitcher, as most of these guys have. So I'll take the A's on a short price, and I like the pitching matchup in Philly-Baltimore. First 5 is under 4. I think I'm going to go under 2.5 in the first 3 instead. You could put me down for under 2.5 in the first 3. I just like to get in, get out, not turn the lineup over a second, third time. So if it was 4.5, I'd go first 5. But I want to win on 4. 4.5 is such a key number in those first 5. So under 2.5 first 3, Orioles and Phillies, and then A's on the money line and the Rangers plus a half a run in the first 5. So 3 overall.
I like it. Greg Peterson coming up with all his baseball picks as well. Before you go, Will, 30 seconds. You are also a Vikings fan. This is not a non-betting question, but it is in terms of extrapolating it. But just multiple choice. Will J.J. McCarthy be C.J. Stroud / Jaden Daniels level in his first year of play? B, just what you would expect from a rookie quarterback, or C, completely horrible?
Oh, I would say B, just because as long as he's somewhat competent, he's got such a good team around him, it would hard for him to be really bad. But as a Vikings fan, I'm well aware the Vikings cannot have nice things. There's no way he's Daniels. There's no way he's Stroud.
Okay.
I got to see it to believe it.
I'm just curious because I hear just anecdotally a lot of people are like, oh, Kevin O'Connell, J.J. McCarthy, it's going to be fantastic. I'm like, okay, easy, everybody. We'll find out. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Will Hill, everybody, at Not The Will Hill. Coming back, Country Clubbing next.
And they're off.
This season with VSiN's College Football Betting Guide, exclusive to VSiN Pro subscribers. It's packed with 136 team previews, preseason top 25 rankings, and best bets from our experts. Pro subscribers also get the NFL Betting Guide, daily best bet emails, exclusive splits, and full access to our premium betting tools. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 for your first 30 days, or save 50% with an annual Pro subscription. And join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
VSiN and Winner's Circle Proxy are giving away 2 grand prize packages for the Circa Million 7 contest. Each includes a fully paid entry, full season proxy service from the team at Winner's Circle Proxy, and an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour of our VSiN studios in Las Vegas. It's free to enter. Just go to winnerscircleproxy.com/VSiN and fill out the short form before August 17th. Don't miss your shot to play for $6 million in guaranteed prizes this season. Go to winnerscircleproxy.com/VSiN. We get tweets at Beat of the Book. I could go through a bunch of these from the Survivor doc, episode 1 yesterday. We'll get to those. Paul M. Isn't a bigger question regarding the Rams the fact that your backup is Jimmy friggin' Garoppolo, he says. You have to be looking for someone viable, you would think. Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo, very quietly, just sitting there in the Rams depth chart at number 2.
I think what's fascinating about the Stafford situation, if you will, I'm not going to say it is concerning. You and I are both high on the Rams this year, right? Is that fair to say? I'm high on the Rams.
I don't know if I'm high.
Okay.
I mean, I'm high appropriately. Like I'm not one of these people who thinks they're worse than they are.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I don't know if that
Gil
makes
Alexander,
me high
appropriately high. Got it.
Yeah.
What's funny is like if you go back through the years, how many back injuries Stafford's had. Like he has a back injury like every year. So I think like when you hear disc today and you actually get news, yes, it's something I'm concerned about. I think people have been freaking out about why aren't we talking about this more. That's why we haven't been talking about this more, because Stafford has a back injury every single year.
I meant high relatively.
Yeah, I know.
Smart man.
It's just funny.
Chris Heath, I remember when Greg started betting volume MLB, I was still grabbing stale lines at the MGM book across the street from Cal Neva. If there's time, can we ask Greg about volume betting strategies? Okay, yeah, we'll ask him about that. This is from 3JackH3131. Happy hump day. Gil, maybe not admitting you don't know a blanking thing to producers would get you more airtime on the Circa Survivor documentary. Stormy and Sherapan, excellent once again. Yes, for those who missed it, Circa Survivor documentary, The Quest for $14.2 million. Episode 1 was last night. Stormy, fantastic. Sherapan, fantastic. As the documentary continues, Matt Brown and Mike Somich will be featured prominently. Tim Murray featured prominently. I cursed, and that's a 4-episode major, Kelly.
Are you through 5?
4-episode major. I disappear for the rest of it because I cursed. Penalty box.
I haven't been able to boot it up yet. I got chewed out by Matt Brown yesterday, basically.
Why?
I got scolded.
By Matt Brown?
He's like, hey, have you watched Survivor yet? I'm like, it's 6 o'clock. I just got done recording a golf podcast with you. I'm like, no, I haven't had a single moment to even watch it yet.
He's all up in it.
So I'm playing catch up. Yeah, it's the Matt Brown show.
It's the Matt Brown show. James Sott, those pesky Guardians are toying with all our emotions. Yes, they are. Go away, Guardians. Stop it. We got the season win total under on them. Jack Olaquire. Lori and I watched all 5 Quest for $14.2 million episodes last night. Great show. How'd you watch all 5? But we felt that when you threw out the F-bomb, they should have showed Kelly sitting next to you nodding his head. Talent being wasted. Maybe next year. Got to get you in there, Kelly. The real Knicks, as a 50-year-old Cleveland baseball fan, sorry, I can't say the stupid nickname, I want them to go away, too. They're such a bad team and boring to watch, but they keep me watching every night. My Dolphins play Sunday. Come on, Cleveland, go away already. This is through on the Dolphins comment, I guess, in the middle there. Razorblade. Have you been to Cincy for the tennis tournament ever? They dumped millions into renovations this year, and as a native, it's my favorite sporting event of the year. Can't wait. The Western and Southern Open, I believe it's called. Used to be called
Southern Open.
Where Chris Collinsworth, again, get ready to be inundated by Chris Collinsworth, corny Cincinnati commercials for the next 2 weeks. Here's a city.
Now it's just the Cincinnati Open, huh?
Yeah. The Canadian Open followed by the Cincinnati Open.
That's not as fun. It's a really boring logo, too. Come on, Cincinnati. You got to step it up.
Primetime Cowboys _ Cubs.
Cincinnati Open since 1899?
Oh, they've been playing it forever.
Wow.
Yo, hey, man. Watched the first episode last night of Survivor Doc and immediately thought of your mom. Gilly, what is this potty mouth? I think your doctor friend Robert, he means Dr. Bob, is rubbing off on you too much. Is it your potty cast? Is it your potty cast allowing this? He means the Megapod. She's not mad, just disappointed in you. Yeah, I made the mom joke last week. That's all I could think about when I watched it back. I'm like, she's going to be so disappointed in me. And then Mike Zhang. Oh, so this is something I don't really talk about on the show, but this is like a sort of under-the-radar gambling thing. Would love to hear what Gil has to say about this. Svitolina faces hateful abuse after loss, blames shameful bettors. Shameful in quotes. That's Svitolina's words.
I saw basically that exact headline and no more.
So she got rolled by Osaka, Elena Svitolina, Miss Gaël Monfils. She got rolled by Naomi Osaka. In tennis, and for those who are not like big into are not tennis hardos, sports betting is evil to the tennis establishment, right? Even though like on Tennis Channel they include, lines. Brett Haber does a good job of letting you know what the in-game line is after a set, let's say the in-match line, what the probability is. So they took it to that level. But the tennis establishment, when the ladies on the women's tour specifically get a lot of online abuse when they lose matches, and they claim it is from people who lose bets on them. And so there is a real underbelly of hate to bettors. So that's why and everyone's like, oh, would you like to do stuff in tennis? More. I was like, tennis, they hate. Like Ben Wilson had a cup of coffee with the Tennis Channel. They were, for a moment there, they were thinking about doing more gambling content, but they ratcheted it back, I think, because of this kind of thing. They just don't feel comfortable with it. So anyway,
I think any sport, right? Like basketball comes to mind too. Just any sport where you've got fans right on top of you, and it's bad. But women's tennis too, right? It's not as crowded. You're forced to be quiet during a match, right? So somebody yelling one thing is going to pierce through so much easier. It's tough. I feel bad, and humans are the worst, right? Worst invention ever.
Worst, Todd Wishnev, human beings, worst invention ever. Speaking of that, let's go country clubbing. Let's do it.
David filled in on graphics, got his phone going back there. There we go.
Wow, we got to turn the camera back.
You got to turn the camera, guys?
We got to turn the camera back towards behind the glass because everybody's holding up their phones.
I'll V-mix in and live on my phone.
Yeah.
There we go.
So when that happens, it's a nightclub in here.
Good thing we got Isaiah Wrinkle in. We can put him to work. Figure that out, Isaiah.
Wrinkle. Want to do your golf first? You want to do that? Let's just do your golf because we always run you up into the wall. Run you up into a wall. FedEx St. Jude Championship. Go.
All right. First round of the playoffs, Gil. You ready? You ready for the playoffs?
I used to love betting this. 3-week thing, 3-tournament thing. Yep. Explain to people the format.
All right, so you have the top 70 that have made it into the playoffs. Okay, it gets chopped down 3 weeks. You get top 50, move on to next tournament, and then on to East Lake Tour Championship, top 30 after that. You are not having you don't have the staggered starting strokes anymore. That has gone away. We had that the past couple years, so a little bit new format heading into this playoffs. Now this is interesting. With the numbers have changed over the years for what you need to qualify for your tour card the next year, what you need to qualify to get into the signature events, and then this top 70 gets you into the playoffs. Top 50, Gil Alexander, gets you into every signature event next year, as well into next week. So you will notice, if you look at any tournament information, if you're watching at home, I said 70 people, right? That says 69, right?
It do.
Because one Rory McIlroy said, what do I got to play for this week? And we got into this a little bit on long shots, Gil. I'm sorry. I'm always going to be that guy. If you can work within the rules to benefit yourself more, I am never going to blame you for it. And Rory is not missing out on anything by skipping this week.
He didn't have to play. It doesn't matter.
And if I was well inside the top 50, Gil, I would not be playing this week either. I can't believe there's as many people playing as there are. Because the biggest prize is locking up that spot to get in every signature event next year. The money is just so much more in those signature events than every other event. I'm kind of shocked we haven't seen more people sitting out. So, anyways, TPC Southwind, great course, par 70, plays very long, though. This is back to a premium on ball striking. You need great accuracy off the tee. Distance will help here, and super quality approach play because you're going into very small greens. Round the green play and scrambling will come into play a little bit. This is a fairly easy putting course, though, so something to keep in mind. I didn't really factor in much putting into my handicapping this week. Outright plays. Okay, Scotty Scheffler is in the field. So you got to mix up how you're going to bet this if you're not going to bet Scheffler. If you want to bet Scheffler at 3-1 and call it a day, I'm not going to hate you. In fact, what I think I'm going to do tomorrow is first round leader, top 10, Gil, minus 110 on Scheffler right now at MGM. Ty's pay in full. Think I'm going to bet that. As far as the card, though, this is how I split everything up. I'm going to be interested to see what Sia Nejad did. Outrights on Xander Schauffele, Russell Henley, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Ludwig Oberg. I also played each one of them in the winner without Scheffler market. Basically split those bets in half. If you're wondering about sizing, it is a little bit less on the winner without Scheffler market, though, just because the numbers aren't as good. I've only got a couple shops to compare to. Also sprinkled top fives then on Schauffele and Oberg. I think Xander, I'm probably betting to the end. I probably said a month and a half ago I expect Xander to win at some point this season. Still feel that way. We'll probably be betting him here on out. Henley is my favorite bet this week, so top 10 pretty heavy on him, as well as Fitzpatrick, who I've bet in a few straight tournaments. He's been playing great golf. And then top 20s on Tommy Fleetwood, Victor Hovland, and I actually added Russell Henley in that market this morning as well.
All right. National Football League. MVP and Offensive Player of the Year coming up, but in between, Greg Peterson.
Oops.
Full MLB slate next on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim is the only thing like it in the world.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Take your betting to the next level with First Bet. Sign up now at firstbet.com. That's the number one, stbet.com, and use promo code VSiN200 to score a 20% rebate on all your wagers for the first 60 days, up to $200. Don't miss out. Bet smarter today at firstbet.com. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Jason, Ice Cold Gambler. Wishnev Wednesday, Crackman Thursday, Fezzik Fridays. Kelly only needs to find Monday and Tuesday to make his job that much easier. There you go. There you go, Kelly.
Sign me up.
He's got it all figured out for you. Steve the Proxy.
Yeah, find me someone for Monday and Tuesday then. What am I doing?
Steve the Proxy. Base winner picks on a numbers game yesterday going a clean 3-0. Just happened to be the day where I parlayed them all at plus 249, he says. Good for you. Was it one of them was a parlay, right? Was it?
One of them was a parlay already. So I think you just tossed in the other side.
Let's see. This is
Yeah, I was going to say, because I think technically it would be 2-0 on the show, but there were three sides involved.
Oh, Doug Wedge, who said that me and Dr. Bob are like two peas in a pod with our potty mouse, #potty mouse. Dr. Bob has chimed in. He goes, that's my bad. I was a bad influence on Gil back in our San Francisco days. Bob taking the blame, taking the heat.
Bad influence on Gil.
Last men standing. Shout out to James Fair and Company. The Survivor documentary is really, really, really good. Just don't watch it with kids in the room because Gil drops it a big F-bomb, he says. Sorry. Sorry about that. Can't take me anywhere. Scuba Scott, please allow me to give you my brutally honest review of last night's premiere. Bland, somewhat disappointing, no big names. What is going on with Hard Knocks? See what he did there? He goes, now the Circa Survivor episode 1, outstanding, informative, fun. Oh, he threw a little curveball there to us already there. Paul Zang said I already stole the show. All I did was curse. I didn't steal the show. But thank you, nonetheless. And then, Doug Wedge also added, he said, is Will okay? Is he doing it from his bathroom tile? I guess his background looked like bathroom floor tile.
That's weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got one from Bob last night. This is I don't want to turn to that guy because I like Hard Knocks. The formulas, I'm a little tired of it, right? So Bob tweeted me last night. Gilly goes, Hard Knocks episode 1 summary. Josh Allen is good at football and married a famous person that my wife is familiar with. The team rides scooters and wants to win a Super Bowl. You're all caught up.
Is Haley Steinfeld prominently featured?
I guess.
Because that will get us all to watch. Mark at Van Kino says, a side note on the Circa episodes, while watching with my wife when it was when Mike Samobomb Samich was on. I said, hey, that's the guy that gave me my Kentucky Derby superfecta.
Boom!
Bang. Samobomb. We'll get to more tweets coming up. Greg Peterson joins us now. Hoops is his nickname. It's his middle name. I think it's his legal middle name. But we're here to talk baseball with him because the man fires on Major League Baseball. You can follow him on Twitter at @GUnit_81, and he joins us now courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing great, Gil. Always great to be on with you. And yes, give us more celebrities so that way we can watch some more Hard Knocks.
That's right. If Haley Steinfeld, am I getting her name right? Haley Steinfeld?
I have no idea. I'm the wrong person.
She is lovely.
I think you got it.
So,
yeah,
okay.
Steinfeld.
Yeah, but just put her on Hard Knocks. Because I think you're right. The formulaic preseason one is too hack at this point. All right, Greg, Major League Baseball, full slate. All day long, day and night. Let's start. You want to do it started with morning games that you have plays on?
Whatever you want, Gil. I've got them all covered.
Let's do it. Let's start in the morning. What do you got?
How about if we do start with the Orioles versus the Philadelphia Phillies? Now, this money line of the Phillies is getting a little bit demonstrative, right around -174, -180. I saw a lot of value there early, but I still do like this 8-under. With Trevor Rogers, a 1.44 ERA this year. He has given up 2 home runs in over 60 innings. He has been one of the lone bright spots for a Baltimore Orioles team that is currently last in the American League in terms of runs per game away from home. They're averaging fewer than 3.6 runs per game when they're away from home. So a lot of, shall we say, question mark there. And for Ranger Suarez, if you throw out that first start of the year where he was coming off the injured list, sub 235 ERA, doesn't necessarily get a ton of strikeouts, but he hasn't been giving up any walks. He's been keeping the ball in the yard. I really do think that we're going to get a low-scoring game out there in Philadelphia to start off the day. So like in the under, and if you're able to get some plus money, we'd consider a run line with the Phillies. But again, that is one that is really running, and that's starting to get away.
All right, so the official play is the under 8 here?
Yes.
Okay. Are you feeling like this is like that Phillies fever that we've seen before where it's like, oh, now we're about to go on a massive tear?
I don't know about massive terror, but I do think that in a National League that is very, very wide open, they have a chance to do a lot of damage. And I just have never seen such a wide open season in Major League Baseball because there's no dominant team. We thought that was going to be the Dodgers, but with all the injuries that they've got, why not the Philadelphia Phillies?
You know what you just said there, Greg, is such a great point. I wish I had made this earlier, which is, because you don't want to be prisoner of the moment anytime, but it does feel like it is, in fact, the most wide open, both AL and NL. You could convince me on any number of teams to end up getting to the World Series and winning it at this point. Okay, what else besides the under in the Phillies-Orioles game this morning?
How about if we take a look at what we're going to be getting in terms of San Francisco versus Pittsburgh? Right now, that's a total of 8 between Robbie Ray and Andrew Heaney, and I'm in on the under with a Pirates team that is currently dead stinking last in terms of runs per game. It is the month of August, and there are 3 guys on the roster of the Pirates with more than 5 home runs this year. Oof. They just have not been able to hit to save their lives. You've got a guy in Robbie Ray who has been able to do a really nice job in terms of being able to lessen the deep ball. For his career, about 1.4 to 1.5 home runs allowed per 9 innings. He has sent that down to 1.1 this season. You have a guy in Andrew Heaney who's been much better at home rather than on the road. Sub-4 home ERA. On the road, he's giving up well over 2 home runs per 9 innings. So I do like the over, but I also am seeing a plus 115 on the run line of the Giants. I'd be willing to play that as well. So the run line of the Giants to go along with that 8 under.
All right, so both the Orioles, Phillies, and Giants-Pirates games are 12:35 Eastern starts. Let's go to the 1:10 p.m. starts. Anything in those chunk of games?
Well, we've got ourselves Carlos Rodon versus Jack Leiter, and I'm seeing about minus 127, minus 130 on the Yankees. That's a nice comfort zone for me. I'd be willing to go up to a minus 135 with the Yankees. Rodon gives up the deep ball a little bit less when he is on the road rather than at home, and I just still have my trust issues with Jack Leiter. He's given up 3 runs or fewer, 4 out of his last 5 starts. He's been able to get things going with that regard, but when you're giving up over 4 walks per 9 innings, when you're going against a Yankees team that, albeit they're without Aaron Judge, but some of likes of Cody Bellinger, Trent Grisham, Giancarlo Stanton, guys that are able to take you deep, that does cause for a little bit of concern. I think that Rodon is going to be rolling in this one, so it is a case where I did ride the New York Yankees on the money line. Right now, I'm seeing that total of 8. I'd be willing to go over as well with a Texas lineup that has been scoring over 5.2 runs per game since the month of July started. So looking at the over and looking at the Yankees money line.
Yeah, they had a massive July where they scored over 5.5 runs. It's tapered down a little bit, the Rangers here in the early part of August in terms of runs scored per game. A 1 for 16, as I mentioned, with runners in scoring position yesterday doesn't help, but one would think at some point you cash those in.
And they still won the game.
That's right. And they still finally figured out a way to win it. A lot of that because of Eovaldi, 8 innings of 1-hit ball, of course. All right, what's next?
How about if we go with that Reds versus Cubs game, right around about plus 115, plus 120 on the Reds? I'm going to back the better pitcher here. With Andrew Abbott, he has been incredible. Now, his fielding independent number is about a point higher than his ERA, so you want to have a little bit of caution there because he's not necessarily some sort of a strikeout artist, but he does a good job of limiting hard contact. It looks like the wind is going to be blowing in just a little bit. It's going to be a little bit more directional wind in Chicago. I think the 7.5 is a little bit overreactionary. I'd be willing to take up to an 8 over, so I do like that over, especially with a guy in Cade Horton that pitches to a lot of contact. Less than 7 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's given up right around about 3 walks per 9. And for the Reds, it feels like a team that, even though they don't necessarily have that one superstar outside of Elly De La Cruz, they can be able to get things going. Guys like TJ Friedel, Austin Hayes, who has come back from injury, have been solid enough. So I got 7.5 over. And I do like the Reds at plus money on the money line.
Okay, couple in there. Kelly getting all these?
Yep.
Our court stenographer, Kelly Bidlin, is frantically typing all these in. Greg, give us one more.
How about if we go with a late night game? This is the Padres going against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Nestor Cortez is going to be making his first MLB start since April, but if you look at the minor league rehab starts that he did with the Milwaukee Brewers, he was posting up a sub-2 ERA. He was looking like the Nestor Cortez that we all know and love, and when it comes to Arizona, this is just a completely gutted team. No more Eugenio Suarez, no more Josh Naylor. Obviously, they have a very, very shaky bullpen. And Anthony DeSclafani, over the last few years, since that 2021 season where the Giants really went on that run and won the division, he just has not been solid, to say the least. being able to get about a -138, -140 on the Padres, I'm going to be willing to lay that number in. I'm seeing the total of 9.5. With all the sell-offs the Arizona Diamondbacks have done, I think that their overall season numbers are going to be going downward with their offense. And Padres are also number one in terms of bullpen ERA. So like that 9.5 under.
Greg, we got a question real quick. Sorry to make this quick, but we got a question on Twitter about you're still doing all these volume, so many bets. What's your biggest words of advice for people who take this tact?
I think the biggest piece of advice is have a number in mind before you bet it. Make your own handicaps before the books put out their numbers.
Greg Peterson, everybody, at gunit_81. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it, man.
Always appreciate you, Gil. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. MVP, Offensive Player of the Year talk in the NFL. Next on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Introducing the $500 trifecta. Use your GBank Visa signature credit card within 3 months of account opening and deposit $1,000 at first bet to trigger your $500 trifecta. GBank across the line with